Hello, everyone. Here is Mason's online classroom, and what I will share with you today is Quality Inspection of Brick Walls, Part 2. This lesson is divided into two parts. They are 3. The verticality of wall surfaces, the flatness of wall surfaces, and the straightness of horizontal mortar joints. 4. The common quality issues in brick masonry. Through this learning, we will master the essentials of wall quality inspection methods. Firstly, let's learn about the third section, the study of the verticality of wall surfaces, the flatness of wall surfaces, and the straightness of horizontal mortar joints. The verticality of wall surfaces. For walls under 3 meters in height, measure approximately 30 centimeters from both ends of the wall's vertical angles using a straightedge twice according to the following principles. 1. Measure the verticality when the top of the running rule contacts the position of the upper concrete roof. 2. Measure the verticality when the bottom end of the running rule contacts the lower ground. For walls over 3 meters in height, at approximately 30 centimeters from both ends of the wall's vertical angles and the wall's middle, follow these principles for 3 measurements. 1. Measure the verticality when the top of the running rule contacts the position of the upper concrete roof. 2. Measure the verticality when the bottom end of the running rule contacts the lower ground. 3. In the middle of the wall length, measure the verticality when the running rule is approximately centered in the height direction. Wall surface evenness detection. For walls less than 4 meters in length, at the top and bottom, for corners of the same wall, place a running rule at a 45-degree angle in 2 directions, top left to bottom right, bottom left to top right, and measure once. Measure approximately 20 centimeters from the ground, 20 centimeters below the concrete slab, and at the mid-height of the wall. For walls longer than 4 meters, choose any 2 directions at the 4 corners of the wall, and measure once. Add 2 horizontal measurements at any position along the wall's length. Measure twice horizontally at around 20 centimeters from the ground. 3. The straightness of horizontal mortar joints. Sample 10% of representative natural spaces but not less than 3 areas, with a minimum of 2 locations each. A 10-meter thin line will be drawn along one side of the mortar joint. If the total length is less than 10 meters, measure the entire length of the mortar joint. Use a ruler to measure the deviation at the locations with the greatest deviation. At each inspection point, random measurements are conducted twice, and the larger deviation value is recorded. For the height and width of doors and window openings, measured at the back of the jambs, a tolerance of plus or minus 10 millimeters is allowed. Inspection involves measuring with a ruler, and no fewer than 5 locations will be inspected. For the lateral displacement of windows on the exterior wall, a deviation of 20 millimeters is permitted. Inspection will be conducted using the lower level window as a reference point, using a theodolite or hanging wire. No fewer than 5 locations will be sampled. For the unevenness in the joints of the plain walls, a deviation of 20 millimeters is allowed. Inspection will be carried out using the first layer of each level as a reference, employing a hanging wire and ruler. No fewer than 5 locations will be sampled. Lastly, let's learn about 4. The common quality issues in brick masonry. The common quality issues in brick masonry include 1. Disorderly brick laying. 2. Insufficiently filled or weakly bonded mortar in brick joints. 3. Inadequate strength of brick mortar. 4. Confusion between axes and wall centerlines. 5. Deviations in foundation elevations. That concludes our lesson for today. Thank you all for watching.